to have it, but
And it also means that if they don't have the app downloaded,
They can still use it.
yeah.
Do we need to let Grant intro?
Oh well,
we're talking
Or
about
just-
live Q&A, which
People
Kelly and
learn.
Sarah will know because I asked them
And
the
live
question
polling.
yesterday. Live polling, sorry, live polling. We do live Q&A. We definitely use live Q&A on the app, but live polling we haven't. And I guess if I'm using Slido, how does it work from a venue, which Grant, you're the
Yeah.
expert? Do I need to have those laptops all have Slido loaded, or is it embedded in the presentation?
Mm.
Mm.
So the Vienna job that we had earlier this year with
Yeah.
32 concurrent rooms
So I'm just doing 12. So, it's nothing.
yeah. They used Slido, and like with whatever it was, 3,000 presentations, there was a bunch that had Slido, and surprisingly, like it was okay, except essentially what had to happen is that each room had its own login of Slido, and then they would essentially assign that poll or that Slido session to that account, and then it would open. And so an advantage with Slido is that you can embed it into PowerPoint if you've got the plugin installed on the computer and all of that. With a little bit of preparation before, a little bit, it actually
We've
can
got a
be really
week.
quite
Got a
smooth.
week,
Yeah, that's right. You've got multiple sets of hours.
Mhm.
I was going to say, with nothing else to do in that week.
That's right.
I think.
But so it can be quite a smooth experience when it is embedded in the PowerPoint, because you're going from one slide and then it's like, okay, now here's Slido. It shows the results on the page,
Yeah.
and then you move forward, and so particularly when you don't necessarily have a technician in the room actively running everything and being attentive to it all, that can work quite well.
Do they
However,
want to show the results on screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So really, it's like I think if you're not going to use Events Air polling, then Slido is an obvious choice, and you would make that work. A reason, like the decision tree a little bit about whether to use it or not, is if you're trying to get app adoption, it's a great way to get people to be using the app and be familiar with it. Are you already doing Q&A through the app, or
We
you
are
don't
already
do?
doing Q&A. We do Q&A, and we have a really good uptake. Like we do this, we redid our gamification last year.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we've really invested a lot more into actually making it more worthwhile for the delegates. So they get easy points for downloading it straight, being an early adapter or whatever it is. And so we basically we promote to everyone that you're not the only John Smith in the world, or Jane Smith. Use your QR code in your app. And so
Right.
most people, it's really good at the name tag kiosks. The amount of people that have the app and are just
That's cool.
scanning it, it's really good. Of course, we always still have the people like, my app's not working because you're not logged in, love. But yeah,
You're using an O instead of a 0.
yeah.
Yeah. So it does work well for that. I guess, being a hybrid event as well for you, it does make it easy. Like the funny thing is,
To do it on it, yeah.
it's easier on air, because it's right there. Like it just happens and it's right there, and you don't have to, QR code scan or anything. It's just right there and away you go. So it does kind of make a unified experience in a hybrid context. But there are some limitations, and one of those is free-form text. Sometimes which is arguably that's a survey, right? Or it's a word cloud. And I know you can do word cloud with the EA one as well. That's a little bit clunky, I think. But it depends on what your questions are. So sometimes the question or the series of questions might have a free form answer, and they're sort of they're capturing that. There's not an easy way to do that in the EA polling, whereas there is in Slido, right? That's just like it's a free form answer, and now you've got everyone's answers, and away you go. So, but as far as actually executing it, we have done it quite a lot using the EA polling, and we've found it quite fine. Tracy, you've done the setup of it a fair bit, right? And
I think I might.
Yeah, usually works quite well.
Yeah, I think it's only 3 sessions, so I think I might do one that is like an all-in, because we're doing, after a lot of conversations here, on the Saturday we're doing a back-in, all-in plenary session. So I think that one I'm probably more likely to do EA, but I think the other 2, maybe I'd test Slido. We'll just test some things. Yeah.
Fair enough. And
yeah, but it's
and look, we tend to allocate a team member to that session, and they're the polling person. They come in with their laptop, they trigger it off, they make sure it's all working and whatever, and then once the polling's done, they exit. And so we sort of flag that as a session that requires kind of that producer sort of role is tend to be what we think of it. It's kind of just an extra team member who's around to make sure that's working. And I would do that regardless of whether it was Slido or EA. You just kind of have someone who makes it work.
Yeah. I will just flag though, I don't know if you've looked at setting it up at all, Lisa, but
yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Oh, you've done it through the on-air portal and stuff?
Yeah. But then it's also
because that doesn't, I don't know, the
obvious.
logic of setting up through the on-air portal is, you have to get your head around that. So
yeah, but then it's weird because I thought, I'm sure I did the training years ago, and I thought I'll go back and just do a refresher. But to find anything on the new learning module, I didn't even, I was looking in communications. I probably actually should have looked in on air. I didn't even think it probably was in on air. Yeah, see, this is why I came today, even though I don't have time to come today. I've got some great ideas already. I'm going to split it up.
But I think that done well, polling can work well. The first thing on my decision tree is, does this session warrant having a poll, right? Is there something wrong with hands and people writing in the chat, right? Because sometimes it's like, we want to do an interactive feature because we're trying to, be more interactive. So we do polling, when it's like you could totally just ask the question, have people raise their hands, people in chat, put it in the chat, whatever. Arguably, if you are hybrid, then you'd be like, it's not as easy as just in person and raise your hands. But sometimes one of those questions in that decision making is it controversial? And so you want it to be anonymous. If it's a controversial poll and question, I think it's very appropriate, no matter how big the group is, for people to be able to do an anonymous poll that can actually shape that session. And ideally, that's the types of things that we want to be doing. When we get a group of people together like that, we want to be able to shape where that discussion goes or the presenting goes, based on the responses of people. Are you likely to do A or B? As controversial as it might be, most people would do B. That's a surprising response. And so I think that's when we're like, yeah, an anonymous poll would be really helpful at this point.
Yeah.
And also sometimes you get them where they do them at the start and then they do it at the end. Well, how would you do this now? I choose A. But at the end of the session, after hearing that, I now would do B, which is like a debate type
yeah, which is what we're doing.
thing.
Yeah, which is perfect. And I think that's always like, I'm always putting my hat on now of what's the outcome? What do we want?
Yeah, what are you trying to achieve?
So even like, you know, with asking our next marketing, questions for next year's registration. And it's like, okay, I'm happy to keep all these questions in, but are you guys going to actually use the data? Like,
right.
Yeah. Like, why are we hassling people? It's always
Are we just annoying people for the sake of it?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Francie, I jumped in on you.
No, not at all good. It's more like I want to stay here, but I need to actually go do some other work.
Although I did have another thing
and another thing, but no. So Francie, do you want to discuss something and then go? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was kind of hoping Kelly might be here because I know it's a presentation portal question.
Right.
Where are you guys all at? Do you know much? Do you do much with the presentation? Is it awards through the?
I do awards through it.
So I just want to check that I'm not doing more work than I need to be. There is no way to have things showing up according to what like presentation type someone chooses. So for example, we've got different awards and they have to fill in different things depending on the award that they're choosing. So I can't have like, I'm going to apply for the leadership award and that then tells me that I need to fill in these things, and I'm going to apply for the Rising Star, and so I'm going to see these things. There's no to do
look,
here.
Kelly
Brandon's here.
Kelly probably knows lots of coding and all of that. I've just made it simple in that I have a different portal for each one, because I'm also finding that when you go to the judging, the criteria is different. So then you need to send the judges to a different portal. We've been doing it for, I think, 3 years through EA doing the awards.
Yeah, right.
And it's worked pretty well.
Yeah.
But it is like, once you get it set up, at least you can just clone it. But the first year it takes a while. I'm sure Kelly has lots of code, and Sarah as well have lots of code that they could put in to make it. But then I sometimes think, well, at the end, I'm going to have to get the reviewers to do a different portal. So
no, that's cool. And with so the other thing we've got is where we have someone nominating someone else. So the nomination process, like, because we want the first name, last name, I was thinking to be the first name, last name of the nominee. I'm collecting the nominator details as custom fields, as marketing information, just so that it's easy. All the questions basically are in custom fields. And then we manually put the information that we need to into the presentation portal that we then send to the nominee to fill in the stuff that they need to fill in.
Yeah.
Is that just a simple 17-step process? Is that what you've got there?
Yeah. It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah. We do it as like, who are you nominating, which is the contact details.
Yeah.
And then for some of the awards, we ask for more details about why. So there's lots of marketing codes.
Yeah.
But then we do add it as a custom field. But I think a marketing code would be better, actually, Francie, for who's nominated them, because what we do find is we get a lot of multiple nominations. And when we've had the nominator in the custom field in the contact, when you're merging those together, you can only keep one. So being as a marketing code would work much better if you want to merge those duplicates.
So, and that's my plan, is to merge. And then I was like, but wait, does that then keep all of the information from one nomination in one set, or do you just end up getting like everything mixed up?
If it's marketing codes, but you won't get it probably as one set. Yeah.
So it'd just be like you'd get all your nominee names, all your outlines that they've put in, all your email addresses. There's no way to tell who's done what questions match with what questions. So my plan is to do an export before I DG, so that then I've got all
which is what we
usually actual nominations.
Yeah, which is what we usually do.
I like the fact that during these conversations, Brendan's just got little nods going on. Like, there's no
little nods.
Even 18 months later, I still remember everything in way too much detail.
I know, right?
I was just going to jump in before and say on managing the multiple portals, because that's one thing I remember really well, because it was the biggest headache I ever had. A client came to us in a support ticket, obviously no details on who it was or who the client, the event or anything. And they were sending this email out because they had 17 presentation portals, 17 reviewer portals. And it was this email where it was all grouped together by header, like award category 1, 2, 3. That gave me anxiety looking at that email. So I hack jobbed, and I will say this is a hack job. It's not an official way of doing it. There's redirect logic in an interactive site. So your presentation, your awards portal is not the portal, it becomes an interactive site. And then you can use that redirect logic. So what are you here for? Award category 1, redirect logic to another page, and then you only get to submit here. So every page is really clean. So don't get me wrong, I would not put my hand up to build this site or the logic for it. But if you wanted a nice, clean solution, use the redirect logic, because every page remains really nice and clean and just about exactly what you need, and you're not having all 17 options. But you rest in peace, because you will have an online module that's going to have like 53 portals on it to manage all of this. But it is a way to keep it a bit cleaner if the situation needs it.
Yeah, luckily we've only got basically one set of awards, of 5 awards, is all business awards, so they can be all together. And then I've got an individual business people one, and I've actually put them on the interactive site, just collecting their info, and then we're gonna basically put it into the presentation portal for them, so that all the judges, that's just the judges see it, because there's actually, they're nominated. They don't need to then, the person nominated doesn't need to do anything. And then this is our young tech, so our junior people, which is a different thing, and unfortunately their criteria is different. But I think it's not quite that complex, luckily.
I was going to suggest the same type of thing, in that we do something similar with contact custom fields, and so then what they're applying for, and the eligibility for different awards is through an interactive site, and so you do all of that, and then it's just the presentation portal is just for the abstract itself. But you've already done all the process, and you could sort of bounce around with different logic then, and only show what is appropriate for them, and they that has worked quite well, because the first page they get often skips them past a whole bunch of stuff. If they're not, sometimes it's like, oh, we just want this for display only. It's like a poster. And so display only and not for awards, well, then it just bypasses a whole bunch of stuff, and then you know. So that's a good way to do it at the start.
The biggest challenge I've had, and part of the reason that I didn't put the individuals through the presentation portal, to save us a job is because I couldn't figure out what to put as the title. And you have to have a title. Whereas for the business awards, I've put the organisation in there.
Okay.
And at the same time, I haven't asked. So if anyone knows, then let me know. If you can make the title and presentation type read only, because we need it to be editable so that they can add their stuff in. I don't think it's possible to make just that the title and presentation type as read only, so that they can't change it. I mean, they shouldn't change it because it's their company and their presentation type and their award type. So, but it's just something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. And yeah, for the individual awards, I couldn't think of what to put in the title type because you had to have it there.
Have a title.
Yeah, and
Pretty
I
sure
think.
Oh, sorry.
No, Brendan, you're the expert, so.
I wouldn't say I'm the expert. I was just going to say, if it was circa 2019 and the support team was still doing a lot of the scripting, which they liked doing at the time, probably.
Yeah.
Now that it's 2026, I would say it would be very dangerous to probably deploy any of that scripting today.
Although the presentation portal's not as bad, I think, because it's still what it was. Like, there's not.
Yeah, I saw an image actually the other day where it says TLE. They've never done the localization fix for that, which made me laugh. But yeah,
because you can't have title in two places, Brendan.
I'm doing a little bit of work in Events Air later today. Let me have a little bit of a play around with it, and I can let you know how I go. I can see what I can do. I don't have a whole lot of time this week, but I have a little bit of a play around. I'll see where I can go with it.
Love it.
I think we made title, like we give them like these are the set criterias that you need to answer. So we actually made title 1 their actual answer to that first question. It doesn't display great. I can't remember whether I had some code to make that a bit bigger, but it does display when you save it. It does display up higher.
Yeah.
And then we made the actual award that they were nominated for. How did we do that? So the title was like answer to question 1. The presentation type was what category of award they were nominated for.
Yeah.
And then the theme was, because we do it by states and territories and country, that was the theme was for what region they were.
Yeah.
But it doesn't display the best.
I've not needed to use theme, thankfully. I'm just managing to use the supporting documents and additional documents and additional info and stuff. It's just and like our questions are all chunky, so it would look weird in the title, I think. We've not got anything that's simple. But that's good to know that I'm not missing anything. And if you find anything, Brendan, please let me know.
No promises, but I can. I've got so many different Events Air logins at the moment with so many different people that I'm working with, so I can have a little bit of a go later today.
Yeah, that's good fun. Which login am I using today?
Reminds
Francie,
me
I
of this.
found the reviewers were very anti it when I first did it. They were like, oh no, like before I started it was paper, like seriously, it was like emails, a million emails we were sending them. And after the first year they all went, yes, can we please keep doing it that way? It's so much easier. And it's easier for you as an organizer. Like you can see if they've actually gone in and reviewed it. It's
100%.
so much less chasing up.
Yeah.
Just be great if Events had built an awards portal.
I know,
Imagine
right?
that. Well, because I think there's more people I'm being talking to that are
using
doing
it.
it. Because I think, or even, I think there is other products, but then that's an added cost. Like if you're working for a not-for-profit, it's very hard to then go and buy
Something
an
just
awards.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of is almost there. It's just like as a presentation portal, it's kind of just about there.
Well, it's funny because that's the like doing awards in the presentation workflow was something from my very first year. Like it was happening in 2018. And I
Yeah.
remember kind of saying at one point when I ended up in QA right before right before COVID, I actually said like, why don't we do this? Because it happens so much. And I think the internal logic at the time was the presentation portal's so close. And I think my immediate reaction was it is close, but it's still not perfect, i.e. that example I gave you before. I don't think that if it was close, you wouldn't need that many portals to achieve any desirable result.
Well, it's even just having to go through and change all of the words, just having to go through localization and change everything like that. It's a time-consuming thing to have to do that. And yes, you can clone it, but like even with the ones I'm doing, I'm going to have 2 or 3 different portals, 3, I think. Even with them, I'm going to have to change. Even when I clone it, there's still going to be things that I have to change, and yeah, it's the fact that you can't logic. That's one of the biggest things, I think. So when there's different criteria, just slightly different criteria, still have to have a completely different portal, even though like the bulk of it's the same. But yeah. And I tell you what, Brendan, I reckon before you arrived, I'm pretty sure that I knew of people using it for awards as well.
I think it's been a day one thing.
Yeah.
I would using other event management software, like since not being at EA anymore, there are other solutions that have it. The same thing, like I jumped on earlier before, but a client called me right at the time, but I heard in the background not Mentimeter, the other one that has just escaped my mind for doing the Q&A and the live polling.
Slido.
Yeah, Slido. I
Yeah.
was using that just last week down in New South Wales on something, and I think that the use case for them is compelling because the Q&A and the live polling I was going to say in on air, but in Events Air is incredibly simple and does not leave a lot of room for configuration to specific requirements. But then you're directing people in multiple different areas. It's not as it leaves a less desirable user experience, but ultimately achieving the desired result in terms of how you want to do Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want a tip for the week that I found that wasn't happening? Has anyone been using the incomplete registrations much?
Oh, no, I haven't yet.
Yeah. I've been really liking them until last week.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was good because we would usually send them a reminder like, hey, you're almost there, just register. But then we're finding that people weren't using their auto token link to go back to do it. So then we would have a duplicate. We could, because you could search and find it. And I don't know whether it's in the last upgrade, but I'm sure that earlier this year I was merging those duplicates just because I'm a bit OCD. I like a clean contact record. don't like having, but last week when we merged, and even though we made the main registration merge with the incomplete, that registration, we then were like, why can't I find that person? I found them last week. They became incomplete and inactive. So then we had to find them all and reactivate them. So I don't know whether that's a new glitch. But yeah, just be careful. So now I'm just deleting those records instead of merging them. So that's my hot tip for the week to save everyone some time.
I've got a quick hot tip before I go for all of those people using Meeting Match. Because I know that no one's using it because no one helped me.
No one could help you. Yeah.
No one could help me. So we used it. It was successful. I did manage to get the algorithm to get some really good stats for meetings and stuff. And on site, we had a particular demographic who are notorious for not turning up. And the hosted buyers obviously are hosted. And so we asked anyone that came up, we had lots of people coming up, lots of our sellers coming up saying, we've got this person's not turned up. We're like, can you please mark them as a no-show? And because you can do that. Pull that information out in reporting.
Yeah.
We have to pay for a custom report to pull out the status of the meeting.
Oh.
It's cheaper because someone else has asked for it recently.
It's cheaper.
You'd think there would be just a stock standard.
Yeah.
That everyone who's doing Meeting Match should want that report.
What is the point in having
what's the point in having it?
Button if we can't report on it? So yeah, just so that everyone knows that. Yeah. Oh, and the other fun thing that I found.
Well, if you pay for it, it'll be even cheaper then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you go next.
Not me.
It's going to get cheaper and cheaper.
The other thing that happened is that I had obviously, in my wisdom, had the app to close at the end of April. And we'd asked all of our exhibitors, another thing, anyway, that I'm not going to go there because that was a client issue. Basically we had exhibitors coming in to say, I want to download my notes, but they've disappeared off the app and I can't log in. And they were having issues logging into the app. When they did log into the app, the notes had disappeared.
Oh.
And I need to go back to support because their response was get the exhibitors to go back in and write their notes again. I'm like, I'm not going to say that to our exhibitors because I know what the answer will be.
Do you mean the notes from the lead collection?
No, so in the meeting matching, you can write notes.
Oh, meeting matching, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably similar to the lead capture. Although that does go into the lead management.
Yeah, I was going to say you can log into the portal and download them.
But this was we had 140 exhibitors. I wasn't going to go into everyone. Luckily, for whatever reason, whatever's happened, I seem to be able to log in. I'm touching all of the wood, and send them their notes. They seem to be showing up for me. But yeah, when they log in on their app, it's not working. So it's obviously.
So wasn't it? It must be the time that people are asking for notes because I had someone asking yesterday for their notes from on air from last year, and I was always like, I could try. I'll reopen. I'll try and share your notes, and because it goes to their email anyway. I was very excited when this morning they said, "Oh, I got it."
Oh, great!
Wow.
Yes. So my moral of the story is make sure that the app is open for several months.
Yeah.
Just in case. But yes.
Yeah, because it is that annoying thing. Like we always try and promote to people because it's not 32 like you had in Vienna, Grant, but we've got 12, so we try and tell people to like download the app early, look at the agenda on a big screen, add them to my agenda, and then they come on site and they're like, oh, I added all these things and now my agenda's cleared.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's just one of those, we call them gremlins, just something that's happened in the system. Yeah. But it's heartbreaking when, people spend a lot of time and
doing that.
Yeah.
Totally. I wonder how isolated that is, or if it's
Yeah, do you know if it's isolated?
or if it's something to do with push, updates on the app or something that
Yeah.
knocking it
Yeah.
out, or
We probably have a handful of
yeah,
delegates every year that it happens to. And I
yeah,
pay for my extra server boosts so that I'm, got a good system.
right, yeah, interesting.
But I'm going to mute and
Okay.
go try and do some work.
All right, all the best
So
with
that I
that.
can keep listening.
Okay, cool.
See
Very
ya.
good. Okay, Lisa, you had something else, didn't you?
No, that was my
Oh, that was it.
incomplete
Oh, yes.
registrations.
Okay.
They are good. Like, it is helping us. Like, I don't know whether everyone, I think next year I'm definitely going to install a late registration fee, because we closed registrations last week and everyone now, oh, I booked my flights and accommodation, but oh, I didn't. So at least the benefit of them having an incomplete registration is it's much easier process, because
Oh, yeah.
they've already, loaded most of their own personal records. It's only a few marketing codes and that. So yeah, I am
It's
enjoying.
just that it's now
Yeah,
double
apart
the
from
price.
yeah, that's what I feel like I'm going to say. Anyway, but it's good that people want to come. More money in our not-for-profit
Do you
bank
know,
account.
it's double the price, but it's buy one, get one free. And so you just have to buy 2 registrations now. Nice. I've got a little
I'm
I got a
just
little
gonna
show
jump
and
on here
tell.
because we had an event last year where we had a famil beforehand, and thankfully, in accommodation, I went through the lists of accommodation and the famils, and we had people who booked famils and accommodation who weren't registered.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Nice. I've got a little show and tell, which is not API related. You'll be happy to know. It's like, this is great for you. So it's to do with the leaderboard. I don't know if you put the leaderboard up, Lisa, for points. So this is the standard leaderboard. And then I got ChatGPT just to redesign it. And so it's much prettier. So it was literally just a single prompt that was like, take this link and then make it nicer, because it's not working well, particularly on a portrait screen, which is why I needed to have it redo it.
Fair enough.
And have it like fade and look pretty, and it's literally just using all the same, like it's updating automatically and everything. It was just yeah, I was quite happy with that one. So it was obviously you need to have some sort of server for it to be able to do this, but that's actually pretty straightforward.
That was
And
the one I played with for quite a while.
Yeah, that's right.
And
I
couldn't
know.
get the
I know.
organization to go out, and yeah.
That's right.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
so I did that on the last day.
Oh, cool.
And so yeah, that was a nice little find. It was like some of these things that particularly are pages that already have the connection to the data itself is all done. It's just really the skin on the top. And so it was just using another skin and still using the same data underneath. So that was fun.
I think
Really cool. So then you grabbed the link from what? Did ChatGPT give you a new link?
Yeah. So as in, there's an extra step in there that it had to then go to a web server. Like I had to give it essentially a web server that I've got, like, a WordPress server or whatever. And then it would just give you a file. You put that on that server and away it goes.
Right.
So, yeah, So it's actually pretty, yeah, it was pretty cool. Done a couple of little things like that now that nice little outputs.
Yeah,
So
really good.
I really need to log off, don't I? Because I can't not join in.
Yeah.
Come on, Francie, just add.
I'm
be there later.
15 minutes.
multitasking. I recently used AI. I've been really against it, but I was using ChatGPT. I was like, I had some. I'm on a legacy website that I created, and was trying to get something to look good, and I was like, wait, I might try ChatGPT.
yeah,
And it
seriously.
even went to the point of being like, oh, because you're using the legacy website and Events Air, you need to do these things. So I'm going to make sure it's fixed and it works. And each time it was like, each time I changed something, was like, change this code into this. And I was like, can you just give me the full code? And so each time I was just replacing the whole code in the back end.
Yep.
And I got this beautiful mobile responsive website, and I was like, that's the shizzle.
That's cool.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, if I've never used that word. I don't know where that came from, but it was so good. And yesterday I used it to do a timeline for a conference that I've got in September. And
Yeah,
it took me about 5 minutes.
I know.
Yeah. It is great when you discover stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, it's actually, you start thinking differently now. Like you start thinking more around the, what is it that I really want, not how do I do it.
Yeah. And
so,
something really interesting, I was at a conference last week, and we had a presenter on AI. We had 2 AI back to back, so it was a little bit much, but they said what he does now is something that used to take him a day of things. He now takes him like maybe 30 minutes, but instead of just sticking with that 30 minutes, he then uses AI to take a day to create an even better thing. And I was like, I really like that way of thinking about things, rather than just shortening your time. You're actually then creating a better product, and seeing how it can go into Events Air. And like, I asked it some stuff about an exhibition portal. I was trying to figure something out. Oh, that's right, because I've got a lovely client who's having like multiple booths and sponsorships, but not as many complimentary registrations as they would automatically get, which I did explain to them at the start. So I was asking about whether there was a way to do that. And just the fact that it knows Events Air is just hadn't even thought about it.
And the more you use it, the more it knows it. The more it
That's
knows
right.
how you use it.
Yeah.
I always get freaked out when it references something that you've asked it like 2 months ago. It's like, wow. You remember that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you just like there's still just having that little bit of awareness that it could be wrong. Like it could be very confidently wrong. Because there's sometimes where it's like, yeah, just press this button. It's like, that button doesn't exist. What are you talking about? It's like, that's not anywhere. It was like, just do.
And that was one of the things that they talked about last week, was that whole it's you create something, you put it into AI, and then you check it again, and then you might put it back into AI, but you always do that last
You
year.
need to check it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Mm.
Oh, Brendan working in the background.
Love it.
He's done the title for you, Francie.
Oh, amazing. Is that to hide it?
Yeah, it won't hide it, it'll make it read only.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's cool.
We have,
Did you
I don't
use
know if you've
AI to create that?
No.
I don't know if you've heard it, Brendan, but we've talked about making a scripting document on the Facebook page.
Yeah, that's right. Got a script for that.
Got a script for that.
And if you're watching the recording, it's not going to be shared anywhere else because you just missed out. We're all looking at it in the chat. It's like it's the most amazing thing we've ever seen. We're copying it, we're saving it, and we're not sharing it anywhere else. You have to be here live to get the scripts.
But it is hard because you get so many codes, and I'm sure I've like saved them, and then you forget. Oh, and it would be great to have a library of codes. But then I find sometimes I can't get them. Like if I've already got a code on a portal, then I want to add another one, and sometimes ChatGPT, very confident, but then it doesn't work.
I'll just flow onto that. The scripting, if you deploy one script, it's usually okay. Scripts do conflict. Like we had a I can't remember what they called it. If anyone knows Harry, who used to be in the support team and I think is in the with integrations now.
Yeah.
He did a book up and it was like easily 100+ pages long of scripting. But it was very hard to follow because there'd be like a script, but then there'd be this little annex that's like, if you need it to work with this script, it needs to change to be this way. So scripting's fun and all, but like thoroughly tested if you're mixing multiple together, because it was quite a common occurrence where mixing them together would basically make nothing work, and in the worst case, it might actually impact the site and make the site not submit at all.
Yeah.
And you've also
situations like that as well.
Yeah, what I find is you've got to remember what the scripts are that you've been given. Because I remember we had a script in from a couple of years ago and then it clones over and then I needed to add another one and they're like, what does this one do? And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Can you not tell? Usually I'm like, you guys know the script, you must be able to tell what it says.
Because they wanted to merge them, like Brendan was saying, but I'm like, oh, I can't remember what it does.
Yeah.
But yeah.
AI is good for that now too, as well, to be able to say, what is this doing?
True.
Oh,
what does this script do? Yeah, it's good for that. I got a new toy as well this week. Look at this. This is cool. What is it?
That Wi-Fi.
Oh, no.
Oh.
It's a scanner.
Wow.
QR scanner. It's Bluetooth, which means you can use it on the phone, which is an interesting use case. But it's also got USB, so I can put it straight in the computer. But it's we're going to use it in our speaker support. So what's super cool is someone walks in and then we scan them. So you can see I just put that in the chat. It scans them and then assigns them to a workstation and brings up the presentations that they've already uploaded or the spots that they need to. So it's super cool, but to be able to walk around with that now, and like as people walk in, I can just scan the badge and assign them and stuff is super cool. So
would that also work for checking people into sessions and stuff like that? You know how they do?
I want to test that. But I think in theory, I'm not sure. Brendan, do you know that? Is whether it can be used as a text string, whether it's doing the same thing in the background with the organizer app, whether it would be achieving the same thing as using the camera. It's the thing with scanners is they're much faster than cameras. Like cameras can be a bit slow, whereas scanners are, it's really quick.
Even just scanning people into an event, I'd like something.
In the old app, pre the work that they did on it, pre the work that they've done on the current iteration of the app, I was confident that it would, because basically it was that same text string that Grant's put in the chat here.
Yeah.
Because ultimately a barcode scan is just a glorified keyboard at the end of the day. Computer sees it largely in the same way. I wouldn't comment with any degree of certainty on the current version of the app. Just because I don't know how they changed, what changes they made in that.
Yeah, I want to do some testing on that because that could be very, very interesting. The other thing is that it gives feedback. Like if it's beeping, if it beeps like that, it's worked. And then if it's not, that means it hasn't worked because it's not connected to anything. So it's really cool because you probably can't hear the beeping. But anyway, yeah, okay. It was doing a triple beep when it was not working properly. Which is really cool. So you could actually, like, in theory, and that's what I want to test, is being able to do it on a computer. Even you just have it off to the side and then you're just quickly scanning people. Anyway, it's interesting. I'll play around with it, but it was about $60 or something, $70 or something on Amazon. So yeah, there you go.
Look forward to hearing your feedback on it.
Yeah, I'll have a play with it.
I'm just thinking because you know, if you had multiple printing kiosks and you could just zip down the line and scan people, and so that when they got to the desk, their name tag would be printed already, rather than
interesting.
Potentially.
I could just imagine them all getting mixed up and
I know.
I'm more than happy with like the airport queuing system in front of a kiosk.
Yeah, that's true.
The initial thought was like, oh, that could be cool, and then I'm like processing.
Maybe not. Do you know what you could do is you could pre-print all of the name badges, and then they're all just there. It'd be like, it's just so easy, right?
Grant, don't laugh, because seriously, we had last year there was, I think, train delays and a few flight delays, and two of the kiosks weren't great, so everyone sort of arrived at the same time, and so yeah, there was people queuing, but it really wasn't that many queues. Like the queue was like maybe 6 deep at each, so it's not huge. But anyway, one of our non-events people in our team went, why don't we just pre-print them? Why don't we just pre-print them and people line up? And I'm like, no, like.
Well, I mean, there's a certain size.
Do you remember those old
days
works. Of pre-printing?
I know. But
still doing it with one of my clients.
Well, yeah, I mean,
we do it with smaller things, but not.
I was going to say
1,200
up to
people.
like 150, 200 people. It's probably fine, right? Like it's okay, but once you go into 300 and more.
Oh God, I'm still traumatized by having to do the pre-print, because you would usually have to do it like almost 2 weeks. Like we're 2 weeks out now, and I'm still taking
you got to start printing.
Oh God.
And Tracy, what if you're in like an area that has a wind, like a gust that?
Oh my God!
Did you?
The National Wine Centre in Adelaide, they have like this. They always want to set it up, and there's like a wind tunnel. So as the doors open and people walk in, it's like I'm just like honestly traumatized, just waiting for the name badges to pick up.
Tracy's laying on the
everywhere.
She's just laying on the table, just like holding them all down.
Because my pet hate is seeing them all laid out. I hate it. I like if we're going to pre-print them, let's put them in boxes in alphabetical order so they can be organized. I hate seeing them all laid out because they never stay neat. And as soon as someone picks theirs up, the others all go everywhere. But this client specifically wants it that way. So but it's always in the wind tunnel. It's like, oh my God.
I'm with you. And that I would rather have it stacked, but I think we had a lot of people that wanted to help, And so we
Yeah.
went, all right, let's put it all out. But it was at a welcome function, and I wanted like I think a card, because it was 2 days. And now I know I should just get our name tag company to pre-print. I ordered some online anyway. Didn't realize when they came, they were really porous and like a coaster. And it was at a welcome function, so everyone would come and sit there red winding my name badges, and I'd be like, no, like,
Yeah.
like just they're porous, please.
Name badge wars is this episode apparently.
Yeah. Well, look, you can't
Good one.
keep, like, we're using the it's actually, is it our third year? Third year using we call them the jingle jangle. So they're made of recycled. I think I've
Yeah.
talked about it before. Recycled drink bottles, and they don't have metal clips. They kind of a
yes.
butterfly fold in, so it's great when a presenter's talking. If they're moving their lanyard, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
clip.
make a
Yeah,
noise.
okay.
Yeah. But on Sunday, for all those naughty people who've lost their lanyard, I give them the noisy name tag of shame. Jingle jangle.
I love it.
That is your shame.
That's awesome.
It's got a cat bell on it as well. Is that right? Like
Yeah. And I tell them, this is your name tag. This is because we've got a whole bulk of these old ones that I don't want to use anymore. Yeah. So I'm like, well, you get the name tag of shame.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks, guys. I've got to go, but good chat.
All
Thanks for the tips.
We'll shut it down. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Brendan. Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
See you, everyone.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.